Hey guys, Garahau97 again, this time the review of the 144 scale high-grade Universal Century Gelgoog Marine Cima Garahau Custom, also known as the Gelgoog Marine Commander type, from the Gundam 083 OVA series and also from the movie. So, this is, first of all, a remold of the original Gelgoog Marine, just with a few added parts, which means that the color scheme is going to be slightly off. Starting off with these fuel tanks, also these two on the back, should be molded in gray. Other small inconsistencies, these hoses here should be in gray as well. And, well, those are the main problems with the mobile suit itself. And we also have this. We'll touch on that later. So, the colors you do get: a very lightish brown, dark beige for most of the limbs, like I said, the fuel tanks. And then got a purplish, pinkish color for most of the rest, and then you have lightish gray for most of the joints, the hands, and also the main weapon. So, on to articulation. The head goes a tiny bit up, a little bit down, whoops, turns around until it hits the back here. Then the mono eye unfortunately does not move. It's an old kit, kinda to be expected. And the arms will rotate. If you fiddle around with them a little bit, will rotate around all the way. Just be careful for these shoulder pieces because I find that they're removed very easily. So again, you hardly hear a click when I remove them. Then they will turn around below the shoulder. Then bend at the elbow at one joint, get a bit more than 90 degrees, no, not quite 90 degrees. Then the hands are in ball joints, so they will wiggle around, turn around, and do everything a ball joint does. The waist turns around all the way. Skirt armor, unfortunately, solid. Does not move. Yeah, this is an old kit. They hadn't figured out how to make it articulate yet. I don't even think the Master Grade back then had movable side skirts, so I guess we can't really complain here because not even the old Master Grade did it. So legs go out about that far backwards, as far as the back skirt will allow. And then, well, kind of articulation. The thrusters at his butt also move up and down. Then the knee, oh yeah, they go out still quite nicely, like so. And they are on ball joints, so they will also turn around a little bit like so. Then the knees are double jointed. But yeah, that's about 90 degrees. The top joint hardly does anything. This is all the way the bottom joint goes, and then the top joint a tiny bit extra. So I guess you could almost say that it's just one joint pretty much. Then the feet go forwards nicely like so, a little bit backwards. Side to side quite nicely, and that never happened before. And we'll also rotate around all the way if for some reason you want to do that. Let's put that back on. If it wants to go back on. And apparently the lower legs are on there pretty loose too, so they are also quite easy to remove, so be careful. So on to accessories. Starting off with the good news, we get clear beams. Thank God for that. Even though they are molded one solid piece together with the handle, they're still clear, so you just have to paint the handle and they will look good. Also, surprise, surprise, they fit into the hands perfectly. They're not falling out, so these beam sabers are pretty damn good. Also, one more thing about the hands, well, these holding hands, as you can see, they're on a little bit of an angle, so when they're in, it kind of looks like he's a bit like pumping his fist. So, nice little detail. Next up, we have the quite ridiculous pink machine gun. Yeah, I know it's purple, but pink sounds more ridiculous. Yeah, I think the Zaku Warrior live concept version lost his, or should I say her, machine gun. Like I said, it's a remold of the original Gelgoog Marine, and I guess they kinda turned some gray colors into purple colors. Ironically enough, sits into the hand really, really nicely. Pops in and holds it. Fantastic! And why is this ironic? I present to you the main feature of this kit, the beam rifle. It looks menacing, it's big, it's giant, it's awesome, or it should be awesome, until you realize that the hand sucks at holding it. Kinda. Gotta be a bit careful with it. Also, there you go. Just a slight touch and it's going down, going down, going down. Yeah. Can't hold the weapon. Really disappointing. Though I have seen another review where the reviewer said that his Gelgoog was able to hold it without any problems at all. So maybe it's a bit hit and miss, but as far as mine goes, ain't gonna happen unless you've got it stretched. That's the only way to hold it. And I gotta say, today he seems to be holding it pretty well, because one problem I had was that the hand just wasn't able to hold it in and it just constantly fell out. But I guess I figured out the trick to doing it. Also, it's a little bit of an angle, so it holds it more naturally. Let's put that in, and then you also get an extra open palm hand, which is really nicely detailed. It just goes in there. And oh, there we go. Like I said, the arm is pretty weak, so the best way to hold it, for me at least, is like this. There we go. And one more really good accessory, so we get a giant shield. This looks really awesome. Great looking shield, goes onto both arms without any problem, with a peg here, and it's connected with a ball joint, so it has a little bit of wiggle, and that's really handy because you of course have to maneuver this around, make sure it doesn't touch the shoulders and doesn't get in the way of the awesome beam rifle. So far so good. Still got a few more accessories. Well, those are technically all the accessories the mobile suit itself comes with. The other things we get are like leftover parts from the normal Gelgoog Marine. And the ones you can use are the normal Gelgoog Marine's head, which means no commander antenna and also no Vulcans. You can see little Vulcans here, both sides of the head, or you can choose to have the normal one. Next up, the final ones you can actually use are these extra shoulder vents. As you can see, these have like a few plates in between, and these are quite empty. So pick the one you like. And now the other things you get, it's a part of a shield. I guess you could attach it here and pretend it's kind of a shield. Also get the backpack of the Gelgoog Marine, including little antenna. You get two of these thrusters. I guess if you like kit bashing, you could just cut off the end and super glue it wherever you like. A little bit of customization. You get an extra back piece, which is actually identical to the one that's on there, with the exception of the holes for these fuel tanks. And you also get this, the handlebar for, I guess, the Gelgoog Marine shield, which is this, kinda. So, those are all the accessories you get, and I just realized I forgot to go over the stickers. That is because you don't get a lot. The only ones you get, the black in here, and then one sticker for the eye. Also, perhaps interesting to note, it's not a round eye, it's half a circle, because it looks more menacing like this. Looks really good. And you also get a nice metallic one for the scope of the gun. I have to admit, I was a little bit disappointed because when you look at the Jim Sniper's sniper rifle, that has a really awesome looking kind of jewel-like thing in it, which looks way better than this, but this still does the job. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? Well, unless you're a big fan of the mobile suit itself, I go with no. Yes, it has a few very nice things going for it, but I feel that there are just better options out there. For 1,500 yen, this is a pretty expensive kit for 2002. And when you think about, for example, the Gelgoog Cannon, which has a lot better articulation, more accessories, more customization options, and it's only 1,600 yen. So as you can see, that's some fierce competition it has going. Combine that with the fact that, well, there are a few problems here with his main event going on. So, but let me be clear, if you like the mobile suit, if you like the design, if you like the way it looks, this kit will definitely not disappoint you. But, like I said, there are better options out there. Or for example, if you just want a very nice big looking gun, go for the Gelgoog Jaeger. Fortunately, I don't have his big gun here with me, but then this is definitely a better option. Once again, 1,200 yen, a bit cheaper. So yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate. It could have been just a little bit better. Like you have the color separation could have been somewhat better. You also have some pretty obvious seam lines, for example, here on the leg. So yeah, but once again, let me be clear, it is definitely still an okay kit. Quick comparison with the Gym Custom. As you can see, it's also a very nice bulky kit, especially with that added shield. When you put the Custom behind it, you can hardly see it. So, that's all for this review, and see you at the next one.